Today we're looking at the Kaixin BVT01 Bladder scanner. It's our best seller by far. It's got some great features on it. Flexible unit with a great price. This is the main unit. So you get this, obviously, you get the probe holder. That can actually go on the left or right hand side of the scanner. Probe with the little protective case there, and your power supply and some stylus pens as well. For the touch screen, you can use your fingers as well. And to charge that machine actually is you just plug in the power supply and that little port there. So first of all, you want to touch the probe. You'll notice be very gentle with the probe. It's sensitive, you don't want to drop it. Little red dot there on the connector lines up with the little red dot at the top of this port here. Just slide that in and you should hear a little click and locked in. We're good to go now. We want the probe to always live in the probe holder when it's not being used, just so it's safe. Okay, so we'll just boot the machine up, press the power button on here. So this is your main screen. Your menu options are down the bottom left here. We'll go through those quickly and then we'll do a scan shortly. So this first option here is the owner of the device. So it might be the hospital name or the aged care facility, however you want to do that. Format of the date, that sort of thing. Screensaver, how long you want that to turn on and off for. So we can punch in those. Got alphanumeric keyboard here that we can update those details. Next button is the patient itself. So you can give the patient a name, internal ID if you've got some registration numbers there for the patient, and the age of the patient as well. Once again, alphanumeric keyboard. Next button is the scan button. We'll do that in a minute once we finish the menu. This is the information that's stored. So you can have a internal storage, or you can have a UDISC or USB key, which just plugs in the side here. So that data can be stored on a USB or the machine itself, and you can transfer the data. So here you can pick what files you want to add internally or to the USB drive. You can also delete files that you don't want. And you can drop down, and C's are the internal memory and U is essentially the USB memory. So cancel. That's choosing where you want the data to save. Once again, that's either on the USB or on the C drive internal memory as well. And the last button is the printer button. And we'll just go through the first time when you get the machine, the paper will actually be in the machine. So we're just going to give that a little push to open this door here, flip the hinge to the right. And this little open button here is where the paper's stored. You have to give that a decent push to eject the roller. Get your paper here. It's just like a shopping docket. So it's thermal paper. It prints on one side. You can test what the side that's correct by giving it a little scratch against a hard surface. You can see there we're getting lines show up. So that's the correct way. Now if we do it on the other side, see nothing shows up. So we want to insert the paper. Close the door. And have it so that paper is the correct way showing. The great thing about having on the probe is while you're focused on the patient getting the right angle for the scan, you're not having to reach around or behind or over the bed or something to press the button here. It's really handy to have that button there. You can focus on the patient, make sure the patient's still, and it's gonna be your best chance of getting a really accurate scan. So like I said, you can use either button. What we're going to do now, we normally use a bit of gel, but water's going to conduct as well. So to initiate the scan, we press the button. We can see here on screen, it's looking now for the bladder, so that probe is active. What we're going to do is just above the pelvic bone, and then we're just angling down about 45 degrees towards the feet, and you can see on screen there, that big black void is the bladder. What we want to do is get the line. You can see a dotted green line here on screen. We want to get that as close together in the middle of that black void as we can. And that's going to give you your most accurate screen. The machine will tell you if it's an accurate scan as well. One last thing that's a great feature of this particular model is once we're in the scanning mode, we can change the patient depth, the depth of the scan according to their size. So that is male, female, female with a hysterectomy, obese patient, and pediatric patient. So depending on the size of your patient, you can get a more accurate scan doing that. So we're just going to go on standard male, get that in the middle as we can, and the scan only takes about 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we can see here residual volume of 436 mils. That's quite a lot. That's okay. We're actually, and you can see here also the accuracy of the scan. We kind of want to be in the center of that crosshair. Could have done a little bit better here. The software is telling you could have angled that probe up a little bit. That's not too bad though. If that was way off to the side and not getting any of that middle crosshair there, we'd definitely want to rescan that. But we want to do a second scan anyway, usually, just to make sure we're on some sort of consistency with what we're getting as a result. So we'll go for the second scan here. Okay, 448 mil. So we're literally 2% out, if that. So I'm really happy with that scan. We could say that's a fairly accurate 430, 450 mil. And once again, we're fairly central with those crosshairs as well. I think we'd be happy calling that an accurate scan. We'll take 12 different angles of the bladder. We can review all those. And you can actually change these green lines too, but it's time consuming. You're better off just taking another scan if you're not happy with it. But that's all looking pretty clean and clear to me. So we can say this patient has that bladder millage, and we can just go ahead and print that if we need to refer it to a specialist or a doctor for a referral. That printout's going to have the name of the patient, the ID of that patient if you've got a number ID for them or some sort of code, the age, view of the scan, accuracy of the scan, mil of the scan, and time and date of the scan. So that's everything you need to know on a nice little printout there.